Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that we unfortunately see all the time when dealing with narcissistic personalities, and that is that narcissists are eagerly offended. Not easily offended. Easily offended implies somebody who is maybe too sensitive or perhaps irritable in a way that they can't really help. The position of being offended, although easier for them to get to, is still a place that they would rather not be and would avoid if their temperament made that any easier. Eagerly offended is different. It is beyond easily offended. Eagerly offended describes someone for whom the position of being offended is something that they're seeking out, perhaps even reveling in after a fashion. They look for any opportunity to feel upset, hurt, victimized, or otherwise offended. This is what we so often see with pathologically narcissistic personalities. They're not just easily offended, but eagerly offended. This happens in part because narcissists are not able to hold or process their negative feelings. They have to vent them out, and they need other people to receive them, otherwise they can't feel like they've gotten rid of them. This is why so many of them react so badly to people practicing the gray rock method. They need you to take delivery of their unwanted emotions, and they read the confirmation of that delivery through your observed reactions. If you don't have any observable reactions, they can't tell if you got it or not. If they can't tell if you got it, how can they know if they got rid of it? Maybe they didn't. When you practice not reacting, they also don't feel the power and the control that they normally would feel from creating a negative reaction in you. That feeling helps them counteract whatever negative feelings they're trying to get rid of. So if they don't feel that power and control, then the negative, awful feelings just stay and stay and stay. Of course, this is intolerable, so narcissists will often ramp up their behavior in an attempt to produce the reaction in you that they're looking for that will create the feelings of power and control in them, which is what they are ultimately seeking from this whole rotten interaction. It's a two-pronged process that uses both positive and negative reinforcement, and it goes like this. Number one, narcissist has a negative feeling: shame, envy, jealousy, hurt, anger, whatever. Number two, narcissist needs to offload, meaning project, that negative feeling because they can't cope with it. Number three, narcissist finds a target to project the negative feeling onto, which brings partial temporary relief. Number four, narcissist creates negative feeling in the target, thus validating the projection and creating a feeling of power to offset the negative feeling, which brings more partial temporary relief. Contrary to what many think, negative reinforcement is not the practice of introducing an unpleasant consequence or adding an unpleasant stimuli. It has nothing to do with being unpleasant or negative in that context. It means to subtract. It is the practice of taking something away from the situation. In this case, negative reinforcement is achieved through the subtraction of the negative feelings via projecting them onto a target in the environment. Positive reinforcement is the same thing. It doesn't refer to anything pleasant in this context. It means to add something to the situation. In this case, positive reinforcement is achieved by the addition of the feelings of power and control. Though these qualities are not inherent to the terms positive or negative in this context, the conditioning is more powerful in this particular situation due to the fact that what's taken away is an unpleasant experience, unpleasant feeling, and what is added is a pleasant one, the pleasant feeling. It makes this conditioning very difficult to break because it makes it very effective, especially considering that through their projection creating an unpleasant reaction in the target, the narcissist is able to, quote, see that they were right about where the feeling was coming from in the first place or about who caused it. See, I was right. You are mad. You are upset. This helps to concretize that idea in their mind that the problem and the source of the problem actually is the other person. The offending moment can happen either at the beginning of the interaction and is due to the narcissist's inability to deal with the constant negative emotional experiences they're having, which means they're looking for a reason to explode and they're just looking for a trigger. Or it can happen when they're trying to find a target because there has already been a trigger and now they need a place to put the stuff because they can't deal with the tsunami that's happening inside of them. Either way, we often see them jump into the situation with both feet, eagerly attacking the other person with what seems like glee, seeming almost happy to have a reason to claim that they're the victim, to get angry, to become upset, to blow up. These are perpetually offended, constantly upset personalities who don't have even a basic ability to regulate themselves other than to do exactly what we see here, explode and force somebody else to deal with it because they can't. This is why it's pointless to try not to upset narcissists. Narcissists are already upset. People who are looking for reasons to be upset or angry or offended or to feel victimized can usually find them. Even the narcissists who don't react with violence or tantrum behavior are generally ticking time bombs in a way, just looking for a reason to offload the rage, the fear, the shame that they are constantly carrying around. Through projection and flawed perception coupled with an external locus of control, they find that reason in other people, and other people's reactions validate the quote truth and quote accuracy of this reasoning for them. You can actually hear this in the kinds of things that they often say to other people in these situations. If you're not mad, why are you yelling? If I'm wrong about you, why are you so upset? Did I strike a nerve? You're upset because you know it's true. Or conversely, they might say things like, you're not even trying to deny it. Oh, of course you have nothing to say. How could you defend your behavior? And my personal favorite, that's what I thought. And so on and so on. The reality is people are angry or upset because they're being accused of things they didn't do and being attacked for no reason. But for narcissists, these reactions, and really any reactions, but especially these, are proof that they're right about who is really the problem here, who's really the upset one here, who's really the weak one here, because they believe they can, quote, see the proof of that. They can get rid of the negative feelings they have inside of them. Fear, shame, and powerless can be replaced with power, domination, and control. Then they feel better and everything is okay. For them at least. For you, not so much. It's painful to be attacked this way and accused of things that you haven't done. It's painful to be thought of in a way that does not reflect your nature or your character at all. It's confusing and it hurts in a deep, fundamental way to see someone jump so immediately and with such almost excitement to being upset and offended and self-righteous and to having what they believe is a justified reason to just attack or punish others so viciously the way that so many narcissists do. And it happens over and over and over again in so many of these situations. If you admit their accusations, you're a bad person. If you deny them, you're a liar. There's no way out of this for people, and it's one of the biggest reasons relationships with this kind of personality are just impossible, no matter how accommodating and understanding you try to be. You will eventually be boxed into a corner of perceived wrongdoing that is so tight you can't get out. Remember, this is not about you. It affects you, yes, but you're not causing it, and therefore you cannot stop it. And really think about that for a minute. They think things about you that are legitimately, demonstrably false, and they claim that they're seeing proof of that. Obviously, reality means nothing to this person whatsoever. Since that is clearly the case, how is more reality going to change anything? Especially since they'll just dismiss it, or worse, use it to validate their wrong conclusions by twisting it around somehow. Don't bother. As hard as this is, don't bother. It's a gigantic waste of time because it changes nothing. We say it all the time and we will keep saying it. If reality means nothing to somebody, if reality cannot convince somebody of the truth of itself, you are not going to be able to do anything here. So you might as well not upset and exhaust yourself trying. There are some things you just cannot change. There are some things you just cannot do anything about. And the sooner we can accept that, the easier it is to let go of it. I hope that clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I take appointments online, over the phone, via text, via messenger, via email, and through Skype for clients worldwide. So if you're interested in speaking with me one-on-one, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. The Transrelational Healing Handbook that I just published is available on littleshaman.org and through Amazon, so get your copy today. I teach classes, workshops, seminars, and clinics many times throughout the year. So if you are interested in seeing what we are running this month, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. If you are interested in joining our support group with weekly support meetings and access to exclusive content, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that as well. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you. Have a beautiful day.
If you've been struggling through dealing with or recovering from an unhealthy relationship with a narcissist or other toxic personality, the Little Shaman has a catalog of over 500 YouTube videos designed to support your journey from discovery to recovery. You can also find additional resources on the Little Shaman website, including tools, courses, workshops, a support group with weekly meetings, and one-on-one appointments with the Little Shaman that are open to clients worldwide. There's even an AI chatbot built and trained exclusively by the Little Shaman using her work that can answer questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, visit littleshaman.org. You can listen to The Little Shaman wherever you find your favorite podcasts.